Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Agape Purpose Podcast. And I'm very excited about my guest today. I have my new and very dear friend, Shelly Watkins, the Director of Donor Engagement here at Agape Flights. Thank you for joining me.
It's my pleasure, Jacques.
So what is donor engagement? What does that really entail?
Recently, I've started referring to myself as the Chief Gratitude Officer because my favorite thing about my job is being able to say thank you to so many people for investing their time and resources into our ministry.
I love that. And so what exactly is a donor at Agape?
A donor is anyone who gives their time, tangible goods, or their financial resources to help our ministry keep moving forward, keep chasing after our purpose, and delivering supplies to missionaries who are serving in the Caribbean.
Wow. So you would say a volunteer is a donor for Agape Flights?
Absolutely.
So you oversee our volunteers, the monetary gifts that come in, and what else? I feels like that's enough in its own right there. But wait, you said thank yous as well. You handle the thank yous of Agape Flights.
Well, I do. My favorite interactions are the face-to-face interactions. So our volunteer crew, we have a rotating crew that are different each day of the week. So just, greeting them as they come in, walking through the hangar to chat with them, see what's new in their lives, and thank them for their time because they are serving. They're truly just giving of their time to be here. And help us, say like in our box station, loading the plane. Some of them are kind enough to empty our trash and sweep the floors. So it all adds up to really just a service that they provide for us by giving us of their time. So that's one aspect of it. Financial donations is a big part of what I do here, managing financial donations. I don't ever look at what our donors give as transactional. To me, it's relational.
That's beautiful.
So again, just being able to not only thank them, if I can't do it in person, I'll do it via email, do it via phone call, but being able to thank them, but also ask them, what's your connection to Agape Flights? How did you hear about our ministry? And what prompted you to give? Because there's a story there. And I'd like to be able to hear it and connect with them in some way and show them that it matters.
See, I think one of the unique things is my office is actually connected to her office. So I get to hear these interactions. And I just love that with you, it's not, whether it's a gift or it's a volunteer hours, it's never a one-off, like, thank you, and then we forget. It's building a relationship. And I think that is something so unique that you do so well.
It's really ingrained in the culture here at Agape Flights. I hold the title of, director of donor engagement, but each of us is an ambassador of sorts for our ministry. And throughout our culture, it's not just me going around thanking our volunteers and our donors and community partners. It really is the responsibility of everyone here to a certain extent, but that primary role does fall more toward me.
I think that, that position is so demanding. I get to see it firsthand that your job is not 8 to 4, you walk out the door and your job's over. Your job is, constantly going to events, putting out the name of Agape Flights on top of that. And, as this podcast progresses, I want to have these donors on. So for me, it's interesting to see, the starting point is with you and where it goes from there. And I love hearing you and Robin, who is the director. What is her title? The titles fluctuate a lot around here, so I'm just trying to make sure I say it right.
Sure. Robin is the donor database coordinator.
Yes, and so I get to hear you two interact with people, and it's just such a unique experience. So, like for me, I got to be in front of a mic, and I get to say thank you for letting me partake and get to watch that. It's just, I love where we work, and I love that everything is founded on that thank you. And I know we keep saying thank you, but like we can't do what we do without these donors, without these volunteers. So
That's so true.
it's a unique situation. So tell us, like, how did you get into this position? Like, obviously this is a calling, so I want to know what called you to this position.
Oh, sure. Thanks for asking. I've been with Agape. It'll be 10 years at the end of this year, at the end of 2025. And I came in what was then called the Donor Relations and Database Manager. It's what's now evolved to what we just referred to as Robin's title.
Mm-hmm.
So I came in as a part-time staff person managing the donor database. I'm kind of an odd mix where I like data and I like people, and that seemed to mesh up pretty well. Ironically, when I came to work here, I wasn't looking for a job. I really feel like it found me just through a series of interesting open doors. And I was just so grateful that this door opened. And I submitted my resume, which was pretty scarce, pretty sparse at that point, because primarily I'd spent the previous nearly 20 years at home raising my children.
Five, by the way.
5.
If she's not superwoman enough for you, she has 5 kids as well.
5 pretty amazing human beings that call me mom. And prior to that, I was in banking, both retail and lending. And so I kind of had that analytical side of my brain at work. And then, even while I was at home with my kids, I mean, I homeschooled them for a number of years. So I was just always learning and growing kind of right along with them, trying out new things, watching them try new things. And so when the door opened for this position, I was curious. I was interested. I felt like it was something that I could do, but it was really in a world that I had never worked in nonprofit before, and never specifically in fundraising. So it's just been an interesting journey. And like I said, I was in that previous role for 8 years here. And it evolved over time, more responsibility, went to flexible full-time, went to full-time over the years. And then in May of last year, excuse me, I accepted the role of director of donor engagement when a vacancy presented itself. And it just felt right. It just felt natural. I still had some trepidation, a little bit of self-doubt, because it's a big responsibility, and I take it very seriously, and I want to do it with excellence.
Yeah. And you listen, again, it feels like I'm just giving her flowers here, but truthfully, it's just an honor working right next to her and seeing her evolve in that position every day.
Yeah.
What is an example of a relationship you built in that position that just is so important to you?
Wow. There's so many.
Of course.
There's so many. I'm going to give you one example that it kind of comes from a few different angles, but the story goes a little something like this. I think it was 3 years ago. A new donor made a gift. It was around Christmas time, in memory of someone, and that's not unusual. It's really a sweet way to pay tribute to someone, whether they're living or past, to make a gift in someone's honor or memory. And so I didn't recognize the donor's name, and then the way that the tribute was worded. Again, curiosity should just be my middle name. And I did. I got curious. So I kind of searched around a little bit and looked for an obituary, and it turned out that the deceased was an infant.
Oh.
And so when someone makes a gift in honor or memory in someone, and in this case, they gave us a name and address that we could send an acknowledgement to. So we'll acknowledge with a card that, this person made a gift, in this case, in memory of so-and-so. We don't ever, give the amount of the gift, but we acknowledge that a gift was made. And this was after I'd done a little research and connected all the dots and and read the obituary. And so I just wrote a little personal note and put it inside that card to the parents of this child. And I didn't expect anything in return.
Of course.
But I got an email from the mom. Her name is Jill. And we just started an email exchange after that. She shared with me a little bit about the story, and she's an amazing, amazing, resilient woman, by the way. I've gleaned a lot of strength just from interacting with her. So our email conversations went back and forth for, a year. And then turns out her parents are snowbirds here in the Venice area. And she she has a living son who's a toddler. And she and her son came to visit, her parents while they were here. And they all stopped in the hangar. And so I got to meet her face to face. And I just felt like I just threw my arms around her. I just felt like she was, a kindred spirit in so many ways. I haven't experienced loss like she's experienced loss, but she let me walk alongside her. And so that is certainly a relationship story that I'm so grateful that I was able to experience because I work here at Agape Flights. She has gone on to become a monthly donor, and that I never asked. I never even suggested. I really think, and even if she hadn't, the relationship is still very sweet. But I never would have had that opportunity to meet her, to interact with her in that way, to learn from her, to grow with her, to watch her grow. She and her husband have since had another baby. So they have two sweet kids. And she sends me pictures of them from time to time. When my newest grandbaby was born in December, I emailed her a picture of him. And we just connected on what I feel is an incredibly deep level. And then almost as a side note, there's also a giving relationship that came from that.
I love that. And you can see it in every interaction you have. Like when I see you with your stack of receipt letters and you write your personal note in every single one of them. It's just, it's a unique experience as someone looking outside, looking in. And I love what we do here at Agape. And I love that a lot of this is impromptu. It's not like, hey, you have to do this. It's like, hey, I want to do this.
I want to, yes.
And that's such a unique experience in any avenue, not just a nonprofit, just any avenue of life. People don't say thank you. People don't take that extra step. And I see that in everything you do. But I want to talk a little bit more about your challenges now.
Okay.
Inside of the development world, the donor relations world, what are some things that you struggle with?
In my job.
Yeah.
Aviation is expensive. For 2025, our board has approved our budget of $2.4 million. That's a lot of money to me. The organizations come in all different shapes and sizes. Some have very small operating budgets. Some have budgets way larger than ours. This is my primary frame of reference is here at Agape Flights. $2.4 million is a lot of money. And yet I see God make it happen. He is the one who moves on, the hearts of our donors, and they give generously. And that doesn't always come with a lot of zeros. When I say generously, we have donors that give $5 a month, but they are faithful every single month. And then we have donors who do give large amounts, maybe in one sum. A challenge is making sure that the messaging is very clear. Who we are, what we do, and why we do it, and then let that resonate with the donor or the potential donor. And just being sincere and transparent in all that we do. And transparency is a huge thing with us. We want our donors to know how their dollars are spent. We publish our audited financials on our website, or they're available on request. I can email them, that type of thing. We want to be transparent, not only truthful, but transparent in all that we say and do. I don't find it a challenge to be transparent. I think making sure that the messaging is very clear from the get-go, and that it's cohesive in our organization, which it is. It's just something that I'm always mindful of, to make sure that we're telling the story and telling the fullest extent of the story. And a big part of our story is not even ours to tell. A big part of our story are the mission partners that we serve and the work that they're doing. So while we're not doing that work with them, we're helping to equip them so that they can do the work that they do. That can get a little convoluted if I'm not really careful in how I tell that. I want it to be clear. I want it to be concise and understandable. That's kind of almost always a challenge.
Working hanger. I always hear these doors moving.
Not an earthquake.
No.
Just a hanger door.
No, and we see the challenges every day, and especially when we're talking about the potential expansion, getting another hangar. Obviously, that the dollar amount increases, but also the workload increases for our volunteers, and we have to expand in that aspect. So, what do you see the expansion doing for your department?
The hangar expansion specifically.
Yes.
Well, the initial part of that is raising the funds for it. And again, just kind of going back to that clear and concise why. Why do we want to build a new hangar? Primarily because we are running out of room in our current facility. We're going to keep our current facility. We're looking to add an additional hangar space on the property that we have here at the Venice Airport. So there's kind of like phases of that expansion plan. And that's first and foremost a new hangar space, which is going to be larger than the one we're currently in. And that's so down the road. I don't know how far down the road is also acquiring a new aircraft, which would be a larger aircraft. Even if we were to acquire that new aircraft tomorrow, it won't fit in the hangar that we have. There's a couple of reasons behind, acquiring a new aircraft. We're not just looking for, the next new, biggest, shiniest thing. It's because the needs are there to be met in the countries that we serve. Our mission partners need us now more than ever. We have roughly 20,000 pounds of cargo sitting on our floor as we speak. Wow. And to see our amazing staff and volunteers coordinate that, work through that, our amazing pilots who dedicate their time, to be able to fly as much as possible in any given week. In any given week, we're flying 3,000 pounds of cargo. Whenever we can, which we have been lately, we've been blessed to be able to fly 2 flights a week, and that's upwards towards, 5,000, 5,500 pounds. That's a lot of cargo moving, and yet it's still coming in almost faster than we can handle it. Larger aircraft is going to carry more cargo, hopefully more efficiently, as far as fuel and that type of thing. But yeah, expansion. I mean, growth always presents challenges.
Oh, of course.
That term growing pains, there's really something to that. Growing can feel a little painful, like you're stretching a little bit. So I just always keep coming back to the why. That's so important. For me to understand and internalize, but to make sure that I can communicate that very clearly in my one-on-one communications, in an email, which can be the most challenging because you don't see the emotion. But also when I'm out, speaking, if I'm in a local church or if I'm in speaking to a community organization, just to be able to concisely explain, this is our why.
I love it. So if anyone wants to get involved, whether by donating financially or volunteering, how would they reach out to us?
Oh, well, we're embarrassingly easy to find.
Yes.
Our website is agapeflights.com. It's a wealth of information, really managed by our very own Jacques
I know a little
May.
bit about that, right?
He knows a little bit about that, and he makes it work a little better, a little bit more efficiently all the time. There's just a wealth of information on our website. Again, goes back to that, why we do what we do, who we serve, and how people can get involved. So on our donate page, there's a lot of information there about not only, how you can give, but then our audited financials are available too if you want to do that kind of research. Website, maybe first and foremost. You can certainly give us a call here at the hangar. I am happy to talk with anyone who wants to call in and either just has some basic questions about us or really just want, if they're ready to give, we're happy to assist with that. Or we always love it when people come by the hangar. You can call ahead and make an appointment for a private tour. It's not unheard of for people just to drop in. And again, it's that if you're in the area, if you are able to come and see where your dollars are being spent, we would love to give you a private tour and show you.
I think I might get in trouble for saying this, but Shelly says any size group. Doesn't matter how big a group is.
We have had some large groups in the hangar this spring. It's been uncharacteristic. We had the opportunity of hosting a local technical school. It was some, like lifelong learner students, mostly retired people. And we ended up having 3 groups of, 25 to 40 people in each group. Plus a couple of community organizations came, and it's just a joy to be able to interact with people. And some of the questions they ask are so poignant and really kind of keep me on my toes, and I like that.
Yeah, I hear some of these questions. I was like, I don't know that answer. I'm just going to sit here and listen to this tour as well.
Yeah, the only thing, I'll try to answer any question, and if I don't know the answer, I will not just make something up, especially when it comes to aircraft and how those aircraft operate.
What I love is we're small enough where you can just be like, hey, Greg, come over here and answer this question.
You got a second?
Well, Shelly, thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Oh, thank you so much for using your time and talents for this podcast arena and everything that you do here. Oh. You help communicate our story so well to our donor base and those who are just learning about us for the first time. It's an honor to work with you.
Oh, well, now you're going to make me all emotional. I got to end this podcast. Thank you, Shelly. Again, guys, thank you so much for listening. Again, I love that you guys all reached out and told us how impactful this podcast is, and we're going to keep doing it, and we're going to have donors on. And when I have donors on, Shelly's going to have to come back because I just love this woman. Is so much fun to just talk to. Like, she is a wealth of information, and she's been there, done that, so she knows how to handle almost all situations, which is so helpful as a parent of a toddler. Yeah. That's just my thing.
I'm just older than you. That's how I know how to do it.
Well, I am grateful for you guys. And so thank you again for listening. God bless and have a great rest of your week.